I think you've done really, really well. I think that you have got hold of a class act. A lot of Chelsea fans are very, very disappointed that he's left Chelsea for a bit. Chelsea fans are very optimistic that he would have a future at Chelsea this season.
I think Crystal Palace have got a really decent loan signing there on their hands. For me, it's disappointing to see him go out from Chelsea for a season.
Well, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is naturally a number 10. He was played up front by Antonio Conte in pre-season and for parts of last season as well when he was brought on. It didn't quite work out for him, although he's very strongly built, he's very powerful and he has the grace about him to really, I guess, he looks like he'd be a centre forward. He couldn't quite do it.
Nobody actually knows, and I don't even know if Loftus-Cheek himself knows, what position he's meant to play. I think that you could make a pretty strong case for saying that he should be an attacking midfielder. I think equally you could say that he should be a box-to-box midfielder, and equally he should be a defensive midfielder. He has all the attributes, but I wouldn't go so far as to say he's a jack of all trades, because I think he's actually an expert of all trades, but it's very difficult to pinpoint exactly what he's best at.
Quite an attacking midfielder really in that sense. He's sort of grown into that role more, seen before as kind of a central midfielder, maybe now a bit more of like a number 10.
Another young Chelsea player, another loan move, but this one could be good, I think, actually. Out of all the London teams, don't mind Palace. They've got a good team, good squads, and a young Dutch manager. He could get his chance there, which he wouldn't at Chelsea, and if he takes that chance and plays well, he could come back to us a better player next season.
If you want somebody with a lot of grace about them, who can find a ball, who could play as a secondary striker but in a number 10 position, you've got your man. I understand you had Jason Punch there playing last season, although he could be seen as undroppable as your club captain, and obviously he's been there and he's a Palace through and through after speaking to some Palace fans. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I consider, would be a bit of an upgrade on him. Although he's younger, Jason Punch, I'm sure, could take him under his wing and get him to play a lot better and improve him as a player all round.
I think that, considering the other players you've got, and I think the obvious one here is Cabaye. Cabaye, I think he's a really, really talented football player. I think he's an excellent player and somebody who you can build a team around. Last year he was pairing up with the likes of James MacArthur, Jason Punchin. Loftus-Cheek is a league above players like that. So I think that what can happen is, I think Loftus-Cheek can go box to box but prioritise his defensive responsibilities, and that should allow somebody like Cabaye to flourish. So I think that his best position for you, this isn't the same for everybody, but I think for you, his best position will be lying slightly deeper and allowing the freedom of the pitch to Johan Cabaye. That's actually not what we did at Chelsea. Jose Mourinho at one point played him as a second striker. So it does show you just how flexible his positioning on the pitch is.
I think it'll work very, very, very well with Christian Benteke. Both of them are very strong, they're very physical, and they get involved in the game. Benteke, although I guess he can be considered a very, I don't know, lazy is the right word. He'll finish for you, he'll score the goals, but he needs to be given the ball. And for me, I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek will do that. I think he'll be, if you play him, he will get in, he will help out. He's definitely going to be further up the pitch. He can string the balls through to Christian Benteke.
His strengths are, he's a player who likes to drive at the defence. When he gets the ball, he looks instantly to go forward. He's a very skillful player, different to Wilfried Zaha, not in that sort of skill. He's sort of more on the ball, just a powerful runner, good with the ball at his feet.
Well, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's strengths, as I stated before, are almost his grace, his strength. He can hold the ball up very well. He's got no fear about him, so he can get straight in and get involved, and he'll win the ball back to you if he needs to. Like I said, although that's not his game, he does it high up the pitch, so I'm sure him and Christian Benteke could strike up quite a partnership.
I also think it's a year late really when it comes to his own development. He had been sort of featuring a bit in the first team the year before. Thought he might kick on a little bit.
Under the guidance of a De Boer, playing alongside the likes of Johan Cabaye, I think this could be the season. I think that this time next year, I'm very optimistic, but I do also believe it. I think this time next year, Ruben Loftus-Cheek will be coming back to Chelsea to play in our first team. I really do.
I'll tell you what, if you sign him, I'm going to be really annoyed, because as a Chelsea fan, I know I've met Ruben a few times, I know him, he's a really nice guy. I really want him to succeed at Chelsea. He's been at the club since a very young age, and I really, really hope he gets the opportunity. But if he performs well, and I'm guessing if the right bid is stable, your chances will be very high, because we do love to sell off our youth.
I think if he has a good Premier League season, if he gets a good few games under his belt, then a lot of Chelsea fans are sad to see him go, and they know that his development will be all the better for playing sort of more regular Premier League football if De Boer gives him the chance.
The fact that we're champions, the fact that we're competing in the Champions League, and people thought that he could play a pretty significant role for us, is indicative of an excellent player. Of course it is.
I'd say his weaknesses probably though are just that final third decision, and I think that comes with sort of maturity and as he'll grow. Just, you know, gets into very good positions, sometimes makes the wrong choice, takes shots when he shouldn't, maybe misses the final pass.
There has been suggestions that Loftus-Cheek doesn't take his defensive responsibilities seriously enough. I actually don't conform to that ideology at all. I think that he does. I think that he works very hard, and I think it's a myth. I think it's very lazy from football fans and football journalists to say that he's a lazy player, because he isn't. Does he track back enough? I think he does. Does he get caught out of position? Sadly, yes, he does, but he's naive and he's young, so that will change. And I think a year playing in the Premier League under a manager like De Boer for a club like Palace will really bring that side out of him. So if there's one part of his game that he can work on, it is certainly his defensive duties.
I think if he has a good Premier League season, if he gets a good few games under his belt, then you know, a lot of Chelsea fans are sad to see him go, and they know that his development will be all the better for playing sort of more regular Premier League football if De Boer gives him the chance.
What are the chances of signing him on a permanent deal? I have to say 0. I hope the move really works out. I hope you want to sign him, but I really do hope that he comes back to Chelsea.
Thank you FYP for having me. I hope you enjoy him, I hope you look after him, and I hope you treat him as one of your own. I know Palace fans are some of the best in the league, and I've seen it when you guys came to the Bridge. I've not been lucky enough to go to Selhurst Park, but this year hopefully I can do it and I can hear you guys at home. Obviously make sure you subscribe to FYP TV, make sure you check out all its social media platforms, and make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. There'll be a link to that down in the description at Louis Beneventi. If you want to know a little bit more and you want to have a little chat, it'd be great to do that. I don't have a problem with it, but guys, take care.
Thank you so much for having us on. I really enjoyed it. Jim, I'll see you at football on Thursday next week. Can't wait.